This is the Wilson Staff Model Golf Ball. This is the Wilson Staff Model R. Between the two golf balls, we've got the raw version here, so it doesn't have any paint on it. So what they're saying is that's more stable in the wind on your longer shots. But let's see how they compare. So I've seen a few reviews where they say the spin isn't as good on the raw version. So let's have a look at how much different it is for something as simple as paint. Now it does sound a bit hard and clicky. It's quite a firm golf ball from the feel of it. And now when I do the bounce test, it is rather firm. Now being rather firm, it does normally link to having a little bit more spin and potentially a little bit more distance with higher swing speeds. If I now go to the Model R, it does sound just as clicky. So this is the Wilson Staff model from 110 yards. This is just like a stock shot with this wedge. Nice, pretty spot on with the yardage, tiny bit short, no drama. And this is my 109 yard club with this swing. Nice, very similar. Same carry, lovely. Very nice, similar sort of shot, just to the right hand side. Drop and stop. Safe to say I'm going to produce a similar shot to that each time. Let's go for the raw ball from this yardage. Fairly similar shot to the other two, just a little bit shorter. Not stopping as quick because it didn't land on the green. Good, going fairly close to the pin. Oosh, drop and stop, a little bit of backspin. Similar sort of pattern. On the green in a similar area to the other two golf balls. So 3 against 3, very similar shots. We've got 106 carry with 3 yards of variance, 105 carry with 1 yard of variance. So this is the normal ball, this is the raw ball. Spin very similar, not much to really pick apart from them. And ball speed just the same as well, 87.6, 87.5, lovely. So we've got similar ball speed, very similar launch. Backspin hasn't come out on here. Let's double check what that is on the other screen. Similar carry, a little bit more variance. That could just be me. Yeah, spin very similar, 8.6, 11.6, 11.4, give or take. Peak height, so the highest point the ball reaches, 82 against 83, negligible difference. We're not seeing much difference between the two here. So I'm going to start this off with the Model R. This is the raw golf ball. This is just a 7-iron at a green. Good solid strike, a little bit left, which is my tendency if I haven't warmed up. Oosh, not bad carry. So I've got that line as a brown line, which doesn't show up too well for you guys over there, guys and gals. Little bit of a drop kick, little draw just left of the pin. Landing at the front, just rolling up. All right, let's fish out 2 good swings. Tiny bit thin, tiny bit pushed. I don't mind the thin shots because, to be fair, we get on the green. And one more. One thing to consider here is that this is a dry golf ball test. What I would really like to do is test them in the wet, because apparently the raw golf balls aren't as spinny in the wet conditions. So when you've got dew on the grass, even if it's not raining, you will still get a bit of moisture trapped between the ball and the face, which might cost a little bit of spin. So if we just consider this a raw data test, which it is, this is the model. So this is the ball with paint on, very nice. So the main things I'm going to be looking at here is the ball speed, spin rate, peak height, and consistency of distance is really down to me. Always nailed it. Nice, get in the hole. Oh, too far right. So I've taken this shot out here because it was just a particularly bad strike. 187 against 188, 5,900 against 5,700, call it. Peak height, 107 against 115, so we've definitely got more height with this golf ball. Ooh, so we're starting to see a difference here. So ball speed, very similar. Launch angle, lower with the Model R. We've got higher spin, lower launch and higher spin with the Model R, which is quite interesting. We've got 187 against 188, which isn't too far different at all. More consistent carry on the Wilson Staff model. So the Model R, the raw ball, is hitting that higher peak height, so it's reaching a higher place with less spin, which could be why it's said to be more stable in the wind. So this is the model golf ball with paint with the Srixon ZX5 LS in 9.5 on standard loft. This time toying around with the Diamana Tour Issue TB50 stiff, nice and lightweight. And I will be doing a test on this shaft compared to the stock one. But here we have the model. Let's see how those launches and spin rates transfer up to the driver. 312, a little bit of overdraw, no drama. That was a bit off the toe. So it might just drop the spin, make it draw a little bit more. I'll take that coming into the middle. Very similar distance, 310. Quite a similar pattern to the shot before, just starting out further right. And, oh, he's turned it over too much. Oosh. So I've got a little bit of overdraw going on with this driver setup. However, it's a lot lighter than I'm used to. Big high draw. Oh, it's a big high push. But it's a big shot. Whee, 300 carry almost. Rocking up to 320, nice. And finally we're going raw golf ball on the driver, Model R. We have got a couple of little scuff marks which I think could be from the wedges. So endurance wise, durability, maybe it's okay. Although this golf ball has had 8 shots hit with it in its life. Similar pattern to the last golf ball. Nice comparable shot, 318. A little bit of overdraw, but in the same sort of area. Again, decent amount of run at 309. Last 2 shots. Oh, there's one off the toe. So I've got 2 balls off the toe in each golf ball. So that should feed into the averages quite nicely. Oh, and he's crushed it. Off the middle of the face, and a 314. Okay, so the peak heights are kind of leveled out, 81 against 79, 2 yards of height difference. Average side spin 682 against 539, so the Model R has got a little bit more side spin, but I do generally get that shape anyway, but it's not really enough for me to really worry about picking one ball because it spins slightly differently. If that was 1,000 and that was 600 or vice versa, that would be a noticeable difference between the two. Tiny bit faster on the Model R, tiny bit lower on the Model R, tiny bit higher spin. So we've got a consistent feature there to the iron. Launches lower, spins more with the Model R. A little bit more carry, I think the ball speed mixed with the spin being, I'm looking for about 1800 to 2000 to be ideal. So this could be just under the radar, so it's dropping that a little bit quicker. The efficiency of this being nearer 1800 means that it gets a little bit more carry. We've got tighter dispersion there, and I think that's because the spin rate is ideal. Because this average spin rate is just a bit under where I'd like it, that tends to lead to more spread in the shots here. So if I was getting custom fitted for a driver, I would really want to pick the golf ball first. Maybe I like the lower spin, but I want to get a lighter shaft that launches the ball higher. I could use the lower spinning ball to marry it up very nicely. Which is also why I like to use the golf ball that I use on the golf course in a custom fitting. I don't want to get custom fitted with a Titleist Pro V1 because I don't use that on the course. I want to get fine tuned to the Srixon Z-Star that I normally play with. Whatever your golf ball is, try and use that golf ball in a fitting, please. But more distance, tighter distance, the Model R is winning so far. Considering what I've heard in terms of when the golf ball is wet, jump in the comments if you'd like me to do a wet test on these golf balls, because they're supposed to be different spinning when they get a little bit damp, which, let's face it, the grass is always wet on the golf course. It's very rare that you have a completely dry day in the UK.